Fantastic. Oh, snap. Hi.
Hi! Here we are. Don't adjust your screens. It's the Trio of Destiny back again, talking about a CW show. No, it isn't 2021, it is 2023. And here we are, season 9 of The Flash. Now, there's only one dedicated Flasher in the panel today, self proclaimed. So, Bad Guy Jack, aka Grand Poobah, take it away.
So, you know, we did a lot of one shots. We're trying to figure out some other content to review. And I said, hey, we haven't done a CW show in a while. We were all brought together because of Black Lightning, but obviously CW don't like black shows. So I went through and said, hey, why don't we just talk about Flash? Because they keep shooting him out there. And today was episode 1 of season 9. That keeps talking about this is the last run. And just to throw it out here, I thought it was a little slow. But you can see they're building up to some. I know we're going to break down certain spots and parts and everything like that. But I throw it your way, Vic. Why don't we throw it your way first, and then we'll give it to you, See the Superior. What do you think about this episode? Any favorite parts? And I know for real quick, I know for you, you didn't watch all Flash. You're brand new to Flash. So why don't you give some thoughts about this episode?
Well, I could see after seeing the very first episode from the very first season that he got the girl. All right, he got the girl. And clearly there was a lot of drama like in between. So I'm lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, like trying to put pieces together from not seeing for 8 seasons and not understanding what the hell is going on. But it looks like there's a lot of drama. It's so that looks interesting. But I will say this: it did definitely get me interested in watching it back. I clearly have no idea when the hell I'm gonna have the time to do so. But yeah. I mean, it definitely is interesting. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I like how he stopped the nuke. Like that was interesting, you know. But I'm gonna be honest. I don't have much to say clearly because there's just a lot of content that I don't know. I mean, like, look, you're going into season 9, and there's a lot of stuff that you're supposed to know. Now I will say this: I wonder if Batman is involved.
Huh?
Like, is
They
Batman
don't,
involved?
they
Or
don't got the
it's
money
like
for Batman. He probably not gonna be in
I
Gotham Knights when they
mean,
pull that shit
listen,
out next month.
man. There's some kind of red and black bat shot
They don't got the money for
stocking. I
Batman.
don't know what
No.
that symbol is, but that looks like a bat, and I don't know what's going on. But somebody's looking real spooky and scary and static shocky. So I want to know what's popping with that. So with that being said, like, as somebody, because look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was gonna bow out of this because I already felt like I was gonna be lost. And look, I'm lost. But
Okay. Mm-hmm.
however, the way that the show ended, I want to see some more. I'm still gonna be lost, but I want to see some more because I'm curious to see who he's gonna fight and what's going on. But then the other thing that got me curious now, I want to know about the drama in the past.
Oh
What do,
Lord.
what do you mean, like this and that happened with Iris and all this other stuff? And then the other thing, how do they know their future? How's she sitting there talking about, oh, I'm going to be pregnant in 3 months? What? How can you do that? I want to be able to do that.
This
Like, just set things up and be and change your future. What? How that happen?
there's clearly a lot of stuff that happened over these past 8 seasons. And they kind of, you can sense it, like Vic, this isn't, I'm not a flasher. I've never seen any episodes of The Flash, so Vic actually has me beat. um
Wow.
but when the show first opened, I did enjoy the action. It was a little cheesy, was a little CWE, but I was bred for this. I know the CW cheese, and I can appreciate it. Um, but then the episode kept going on and kept going on and kept going on, and it was very much like Jack said, very slow. And I feel like it's for the fans. It's for the fans because there's a lot going on as far as um info dumping and callbacks to previous seasons that I, who haven't seen it, wouldn't really recognize or have any kind of connection to. um I will say that because it's been on for so long, the plots seem to be a little convoluted, because just from the conversations he was like, I want to meet our kids for the first time as a children. So clearly there was something that happened where he met their kids as adults. They mentioned something about her being lost in time and her going back and forth and going through it, and it just seems like it's a lot. And I understand it's a comic book show, so there's going to be like those unbelievable type situations. But after 9 seasons, it's maybe suffering from the Smallville effect that had a long run as well. Because after a while, it was like, what the hell are we doing here? What's going on? Too much, or too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are a couple of my thoughts about it. Yeah, it was just really long. And honestly, when Vic said he couldn't wait for the next episode because he doesn't know who they are going to fight, I don't know either because I fell asleep. Not even gonna lie to you guys.
Nice.
I woke up by the grace of God at 9:01, and there was somebody else on the screen. I don't know who it was. It wasn't the Flash. So
That makes sense. No, but here's the truth. That makes sense because if you're not invested into the story and you don't know
yeah.
what's going on, it's easy to get bored.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Especially
really
when it's a very dialogue heavy episode that this episode seems to be. It was a lot of dialogue. It was a lot of setting the stage. And if I'm unfamiliar with the stage, I have no interest.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. I got to, so let me paint a picture here because I taught Van Gogh. So my mother binged through all of this. She binged through season 1 through 8. She knew everything. She was even, I said, what about these characters? She said, oh yeah, they're together. I said, oh, okay. So, but I had this very nice pizza party. Now I feel fat. Pizza is great. I just wanted to throw it out there, but feel kind of cheesy. That was good. Thank you, Vic. Thank you.
You stupid.
No.
This guy with the dad jokes.
Not even of that. And I said earlier that this episode was slow, right? And it's funny that when I say that, because Flash is a speedster, like how is it slow, right? See, there we go. There we go.
That was kind of funny.
I found my reel. I found my reel. That was great. I am totally sharing. That was yes. But yeah. Okay, thanks, Count. But it was slow. And I feel like this look okay. Some of the things I did like. I do want to say some things I did like. Captain Boomerang. So I'm not super familiar with all his rogue. I know Reverse Flash. And I know Captain Boomerang because that's someone that they also throw out there a lot. Like if it's Lex Luthor to throw out for Superman, 9 times out of 10 they're going to throw out. If it's not Darkseid, Brainiac. So that's what I feel like who I would put for Captain Boomerang. So seeing him was cool. He kind of at first when I looked at him, right, and I know this is going to sound silly, so bear with me. First I said, did they get Robert Pattinson to play this guy too? Because he kind of in the face looked like him. Until he and
I wish we had a picture because, as I said, I fell asleep and I'm struggling trying to figure out who you're talking.
Not Robert Pattinson.
I know who Robert Pattinson is.
No. I know you do. Right. Because you're the only one who liked the Batman. But I'm sitting here saying, when he had the, but the guy who throwing the boomerangs. So I thought that was cool. I really liked as a somewhat of a small cosplayer. I loved Flash costume in here because season 1 I never liked it. I really didn't like it. That burgundy, it looked like smeared lipstick, so I never liked his previous costume. But this one, it's bright red, the yellow boots. I mean, for God's sake, the graphic is the yellow boots.
The boots.
The boots. Yes, I said, I see you, Barry. All right. Yeah, look at them boots. There, look at that.
Yeah, flashing out here, nice and flashy. That's because he got a black wife at home.
Yeah, but that's right, and I don't appreciate you trying to steal my gimmick by making jokes because you heard her. She's like, "Look at him flashing." She and look at her tickled at that too, but it was very slow. but it, but it was very slow. I think it's going to pick up, and it's interesting that you guys mentioning at the end, Vic, you was mentioning how we have an evil Batman. I don't believe that to be Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne would never dare be on CW. He wouldn't even. He would be so offended. He said, they would say, "Hi, do you know who the fuck I am?" Well, my
Right.
mother even thought that was because I watched it with my mom. So she thought, she says, that Batman? I said, nah, that can't be Batman. So my thought is either Reverse Flash or Professor Zoom. And it was hard to tell. You know, it's a speedster. And last time I checked, Batman's not a speedster, at least as this recording, because DC could just change that in a freaking heartbeat. But I believe it to be Professor Zoom or Reverse Flash, which it would make sense to be Reverse Flash because if this is the last season, Captain Boomerang is one of the big parts of his rogue. But if you're looking at it to end this season, it has to be his biggest threat, and Reverse Flash was his biggest threat.
Now,
Go ahead.
it's the 9th season. They haven't introduced Reverse Flash before
Yeah.
this.
They have. One of the things I kind of disliked that they did was they introduced him so early. Like season 1, he's there, and then later on he comes back periodically between the seasons. And then they had Professor Zoom, who is like Reverse Flash, but he has that black costume. He's a lot more. I mean, he's a speedster, and then there's another speedster. I mean, there's a lot of speedsters, but those are like his two main villains, like as Joker is to Batman.
Okay.
So he most likely is being brought back. Season 8, I caught more of the tail end. Shout out to Mama Bad Guy because I was watching with her, and he was at the end. It looked like he got killed off. But let's be real, in comics, no one dies. No one really dies. They don't. Come on.
Legends never die.
There we go. Legends never die.
Shout out to the Sandlot.
I was going to talk about Rocky Balboa, but there we go.
But so yeah, those are my thoughts about it, guys. Yeah, I could definitely, if it comes to taking or leaving it, I'm definitely leaving it. Returning it to Cinder. But again, it's more so about me not being familiar with it, I'm sure, because like I said, I do appreciate some good CW cheese, right?
I'm more of a Papa John kind of cheese.
Yeah. Oh well, you like that CW cheese too. You're 8 seasons in at this point.
Well, actually, no, because I stopped after season 3.
You watched it again with Mama Bad Guy.
Damn, I wish.
No, wait. What does your mom think about the show?
Yeah, what did she think about this episode? You should have been our special guest.
No, she wanted to, but I told her no. I never got that called bed frame, so I told her, sorry, Ma. That's what I did. Right behind her
What
back.
did she think?
That's what you.
But she enjoyed it. I mean, she's gonna continue to watch it. She enjoyed it for the most part. She's gonna continue to watch. And like I said, at the end, she was thrown off too because she says that fucking Batman. And I was like, I doubt it.
You know what I wanted to ask you guys?
Sure.
About the book. Now.
Which one? Which book?
The book
okay.
that
Right.
Flash Barry wrote out of their whole lives. So I don't know how I would feel about it. For honestly, actually, I think I do. I would prefer to have the book. I don't know why she was so against it. Because imagine how freeing that would be, not having to worry about your decisions. She's all right. What did the book say? Let's do that. It's like living life on autopilot. Like
it's like living life on a Game Shark. If I could use a video game reference, it's pretty much like on cheat. You know, how easy would it be? How easy would it be? Because I get your point. That's actually interesting because I didn't have any thought about this, but to have your life already mapped out and everything is like, oh, all I have to do is this. All I have to do is this. Yeah, so that's interesting. Would I want that for me? I can understand her point because she's a free spirit. I can also understand from his perspective after everything that they went through, because you was mentioning a lot of stuff that happened in the previous seasons that I get what you mean when you said, well, I didn't watch all this stuff. I'm not familiar with this stuff. Why would I care? But she dies, look like she dies, and then these kids and all this stuff. So I can understand where he wants to put it in order so nothing happens. Would I want that for me? That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. And I feel like I would change my mind, but I would say nah, not for me because I'm just a free spirit. I guess I'm just more like nah. I don't because I don't I don't know. I just would like
I'll
to just
see.
I like to just
I,
I'm
I mean, look,
I'm a control freak, so I want to know. I want to know,
fair
and
enough.
enough.
I can see. Okay,
That's
so what about
that's
you, Vic?
that's UP and Puerto Rican. That makes
Control
sense.
freak is cop it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Um, personally, if I had the ability to write down something for the past
Mhm.
and then go to the past and then come back to the future, I would write down the lotto numbers every day
Hey, amen.
and leave it in the book. You know what I mean? And
Speak
like,
on it.
but and the reason why I say that is because one thing that I did appreciate, because like I can understand how like she feels like they're you're taking away spontaneity at all, like completely.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like you're completely just taking away the experience of spontaneity. But then at the same time, what I appreciated is that there was a scene where she says, "Yeah, now I have everything that's in the book, but it's in my terms." Like I wanted to dive a little bit more into that, but it looked like she knew what was going to happen, but she was able to control the narrative and just control the situation. And that whole situation felt like you know how sometimes you have an argument with somebody and then you think about what to say way after the fact.
Hmm.
Like it felt like that. Like you could go back and be like, "Yeah, I want to say that," and then you have the opportunity to, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. I
I
feel
love
like
that. I
things
love
like
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you just have an opportunity to. I think it would be great just to have an opportunity to
To get your lick back. I get you.
no, not necessarily just to get your lick back, but to see that opportunity coming and
Mhm.
then be able to take advantage of it, as
Yeah.
opposed to, wait, it passing and then you just being like, oh damn, I should have done this. You know what I mean? But like being
Yeah.
ready for it. So that whole dynamic is just real interesting, and that's one of the things that made me want to watch a little bit more because I kind of really want to see what the hell they're talking about, but I don't even know if I got time for all that. So we'll see.
No, no. Listen, there's
So,
8 seasons. There's 8 seasons,
and
22
you know what?
episodes. Mm-mm.
It's giving me the Game of Thrones vibes, right?
What?
Because no, and I'll tell you why.
No, he's gonna
What?
tell. He's
I
gonna
didn't
tell.
get in.
Hold
I
on. He's
didn't
gonna
get
tell you
into.
He
why.
said the
I
same
didn't
thing
get
about
into.
She-Hulk.
I didn't get into Game of Thrones until season 8. The reason I didn't get into Game of
Oh, don't
Thrones
be
until
rude,
season
C.
8
Don't be
is
rude.
because everybody was talking that
Don't be
flock
rude.
flock about Game of Thrones. I could not
Hmm.
go anywhere without a Game of Thrones conversation. So I
Mhm.
decided to watch it, and then I was bored as hell until I hit the Red Wedding, and then after that I was hooked. You feel what I'm saying? So that might happen here. Like I might literally get into season 1 and then get hooked. Look, that happened to me when I saw wait, what's the show with the uploading upload?
Oh
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That
Mhm.
happened to me with that show.
Another
So like,
gem.
yeah.
I'm
Word
glad you. I'm glad you picked
up.
up on that sarcasm because, like,
That's
when I heard that, I
hilarious.
said, "No, it wasn't." I said, "No, it wasn't." I was gonna say, "Don't lie." But I do want to say real quick before we end it, because I know we're gonna end it. We got another few minutes. I did think it was really cool the thing Flash did when he phased the what was it, like the nuke or the bomb or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. Because I couldn't understand how this thing was going around people. And I remember I was telling my mother as we was watching, and she said, "Oh, he reversed it." And I was like, "No, I don't think that's how that works." Not realizing because of science and stuff, but I paid attention to a few episodes of the Magic School Bus. He phased it, and I just thought that was really cool, showing the power of Flash. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to mention that before we called it a night, and I think that's pretty much the show. Unless you guys have some more thoughts, I do want to plug two things real quick because I believe as Vic is getting himself together, I think the challenge is going on right now, and so it's like a dual show. So please check them out. Also, tomorrow I'll be on again. It's Black History Month, and we're going. Me and I believe there's a graphic in there. I hope there is because I put it in there. If it's not, oh boy, boom, we're going to be doing this right here, Static Shock.
Oh, the cartoon.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
going
it
to
is
do.
the cartoon. See, I was wondering
I
if
didn't think there was a.
it was
Was
a
there a
movie.
movie that I didn't know about?
And that's
I
what I
didn't
was
know when
saying.
y'all was
That's why
talking
I
about
was
Static
asking
Shock.
about
I
in
was
the chat
thinking it's a movie. I was
because I'm just
okay.
like, I
I
didn't
am.
hear about this. Like,
I
you know what I
am.
mean? Like, so we gonna do the cartoon. I'm with it. All right, that was
Dang,
you
that's
Well,
know.
awesome.
Did you guys? Oh, I didn't know. Did you want to? We'll talk about it off air.
We'll talk about it after show.
But also, real quick, and I thought there was a graphic in here. Someone must have erased it.
Come on.
For me and Cena Superior, we're going to be doing UPR battle. Cena Superior, I thought there was a graphic in here, but please, why don't you tell them what we're doing this Sunday?
We are going to be doing another UPR battles. This time, it's going to be an epic battle between Sailor Moon and Dark Phoenix. Who will win? Who knows? Tune in, IG, live.
And this is going to be the beginning of episode. This is going to be the first episode of season 2. I'm happy because we've made a year. I am happy. I think we're both happy about this project. I can't wait to kick off season 2 with a win and start off 3 in a row because bad guys here. But let's call it a night.
Let's end on that lie.
Anyone going to press the end button?
I will. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, love, share.